itakuwa moto.
Okay, absolutely. Then Pablo also says, what was the name of the guy that had his picture found by the feds at the airport? It would be nice to bring him on set atuchapie story. I think
mwache uno mseme alafu atakosema.
Yeah, ebu sema ni nani, unamkumbuka ni nani kwanza?
Hapana, hapo nilimesema.
Yeah, I know.
Tuheshimiane bro.
Yeah,
you know what? It was Mubelo Bandio.
No, it wasn't Mubelo Bandio. It was Stephen JJ from Dallas. Stephen JJ from Dallas, and I think that was one of our best random segments, and that's why we love people calling in. Possible to reduce the period between sports and social segment. Please, it would help keep the momentum of the show going. I have noticed viewers are plenty in the first segment, alafu the other segment they drop. My opinion on the numbers. Now, this is something that I've actually also given thought, and this is and maybe the rest of the panel has to opinion, and you have given it thought in terms of the flow of the show and just the sequencing, the arrangement of the show. And this is something that we can definitely work on. You know, the good thing about the hit or miss segment is very interesting, but I think what Pablo is saying is that it might slow down that momentum of conversation. So kama tunaweza kuweka hit or miss after social segment, these are things that we can talk about. And maybe Omosh, Bandio, what are your opinions on what Pablo is saying?
You know, hit or miss is a very interesting section, right? I guess the whole point is between sports and social segment, you have between you have the sports segment, then you have music, and then we go into our social segment, right?
Sorry, say that again.
So we have sports, we have hit or miss, and then we go into social.
That's what we normally do,
right?
Yeah.
Now, what Pablo is saying is that from the time you hit sports to the time you hit the social segment,
there's a period.
He feels it's too long.
Yeah.
Because he wants
to keep it going.
He wants to keep it going.
Like an Energizer Bunny.
If you try to put anything after, chances are you're not going to get to it.
Okay.
Because that segment by itself normally just, it has wings. It just goes.
Yeah.
And because we have the leeway towards the end of the show, which we've been making a leeway and really we shouldn't, then we are able to continue with that particular segment.
Yeah.
So maybe the thought would be to lessen the time between these two segments.
No, I
sports and music.
Yes, I think that's something that we can debate about as we go.
Where we would do, I don't know, maybe hit or miss would
but
be
you know,
2 songs.
Ali,
yes, Mika.
What my thought process is after the politics.
Hey, Mika, you're breaking up.
Check your internet.
My internet is good. Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you.
No, I've always been for the thought process of like, when you come from the politics segment, then we go to music, then we go to sports, then we go to hit and miss, then we go to social segment. I agree with Pablo. It's such a long time whereby you lose the momentum. I've always thought in the other segments should be sort of like a combined thing. Depending on what we're discussing that day, we segue from one segment to another without any breaks. Now, instead of the music break, we come from the politics. Then we go to the hit and mix. Then the social segment, depending on how it is, can be combined with the sports segment, or one of the other, like the way you did the World Cup thing and combine both segments.
Yes,
we can always try to do something like that. Like we try to fix it all together, so we don't seem like we're having breaks in so many segments. It's just a flow of a show.
Okay, all right, good. So that's something we're going to talk about. Bandio, kuna maybe kitu ya kuongezea from hii opinion ya Pablo hapa on the flow of the show.
Huyo Pablo anaingilia nini hapa?
No, I think Pablo anachosema, well, they're the consumers, right? Wao ndio tunawafanyia na it doesn't matter. Sisi tuna feel vipi. wao ndo watu wa kwanza, lakini nafikiri amezungumza facts hapo, maona numbers. What I can say, nafikiri inawezekana ni approach ya points. Unajua kwenye production, ukiwa unaangalia kwenye production point of view, waje nakwambia there's no bad stories, only bad storytellers.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo chances ni kwamba kuna watu ambao I believe issue kama ya World Cup, si kwamba World Cup ilikuwa topic nzuri sana. Approach yetu kuelekea kwenye World Cup ndio ilikuwa nzuri. Unajua interview ya Alikiba sio kwamba ukisikiliza kwa undani sana utagundua kwamba ilikuwa maswali hayakuwa maswali ambayo hajawahi kuulizwa, ila jinsi yalivyokwenda. Kwa nafikiri kuna vitu vya kuangalia, flow yenyewe, content ambayo tunakwenda nayo, na pia ningependa sana kama alivyosema Mika, sama tuanze kupata ideas kutoka kwao.
Okay.
Nini ambacho napenda kufanya, kwa sababu kila kitu tunafanya. Lakini one thing ningetaka kusema kuhusiana na show ni kwamba I think we come a long way.
We've
come a long way kutoka kwenye flow, watu hawaoni, tuna run down hapa jinsi ambavyo tunagombana kuhakikisha kwamba kila kitu kinakwenda sawa, you know. Lakini hii ndio kitu ambacho tuna appreciate sana kutoka kwa
Okay.
jinsi ambavyo tunaenda. Kwa hiyo nakubaliana naye kwamba kuna kitu cha kufanya, we have to do something, lakini ni nini hicho sasa ndio tutaangalia. Lakini hiyo ndio promise, ni kwamba 2023 itakuwa fire and hopefully itakuwa non-stop.
Okay.
Tuta switch baadhi ya vitu, tutakuja na slogan tofauti, maybe itakuja na flyers tofauti na mambo mengine, lakini nafikiri 2023 itakuwa moto.
Okay, absolutely. Then Pablo also says, what was the name of the guy that had his picture found by the feds at the airport? It would be nice to bring him on set atuchapie story. I think
mwache uno mseme alafu atakosema.
Yeah, ebu sema ni nani, unamkumbuka ni nani
kwanza? Hapana, hapo nilimesema.
Yeah, I know.
Tuheshimiane bro.
Yeah,
you know what, it was Mubelo Bandio.
No, it wasn't Mubelo Bandio. It was Stephen JJ from Dallas. Stephen JJ from Dallas, and I think that was one of our best random segments, and that's why we love people calling in. It was one of our best random segments that we had not planned for it. We did not know about it, but it just happened and people really liked it. And Stephen JJ, kama unatusikiza, you know, give us your comments hapo chini pia on whether utakuja Kilimanjaro kama vile mafans hapa wamedai. Mika?
But Ali, another thing that I really liked, and I like the fans interaction on the comment section. But you know, sometimes also on the show, with Stephen Jijali call and a Liven Up show, I will just ask some of our fans, pigeni simu, acheni kuogopa.
Yes.
It's we want that interaction with you. We want you to call, we want you to sometimes, you know, sometimes we plan a show, then a fan says something, tunaanza kuwinyio show hapo, like so many times we have to change what we planned. We have our programs of designed ourselves, and then the conversation shifts and we have to go with that. And I like that because some of the time, most of those shows come out and they just like, ooh. I will tell you the thing about Alikiba's show. We planned the show. The show took its own way.
Yes.
Like it grew its own feet and it walked. And that's why it was one of our best shows, because tukukuwa na guidelines. Nobody felt like they have to stick to something. It was just like a conversation. And that's what we want with our fans.
Yes, absolutely.
A conversation with you guys.
So yes, and then also Pablo is talking about getting sponsors for the show. You know, we are still looking for sponsors. If you know any, send them our way. And we're gonna be official. Tutakuwa na makash up na nini. So msijali. Those of you wenye mko na, you know, you've been listening to us and you feel like you know, watu kuna kakiru nataka kuwatumia, we wanna do this.
Discretionary funds.
Yes, we wanna do this in a very official way.
Actually.
So yeah, so stay put, Mika.
Nasema wacha tutoboe siri.
Haya.
So it's wacha tutoboe siri. Next year when you're coming back, it's a registered entity, a tax-paying entity. Everything's gonna be official. Everything's gonna be done by a government. The OneMic Show is a registered company from next year when it comes back.
So mmesikia, you know, so if you know any sponsors, and we're gonna have a red card and everything, you know, like, and we're gonna give priority to people who listen to us. So yes, we're looking into this because we want to make sure that this keeps running in itself. We've been running it from out of our pockets as zingine zinaumia, watu tunakosana hapa nini, but hopefully we're gonna get to a point.
Kunitaja, unasikia? Tuheshimiane hapa boss.
No.